Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
In the podcasting life, they must fight to survive. Shackled by the chains of their past. They're the biggest of geeks, cause they watch every week. Subscribe to see if they can last. Go, go, Ranger Danger. We can't ever stop. Go, go, Ranger Danger. We will podcast till we drop. Probably forever. Dino Charge. Yeah, whatever. Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger, Dino Charge.
Welcome once again to Ranger Danger Dino Charge. This is the podcast where we're still trying to wake up from this nightmare, where everything is in its right place, but you're not there. You're not there.
I have no idea what that is.
That's Miley Cyrus's Nightmare.
I've never heard that song.
Oh.
Is it a new Miley Cyrus or a...
I couldn't tell you.
Right, okay.
So, you're Michael.
Yeah.
I'm Tim. Welcome to the show.
No, you're Matt.
I'm Matt this week.
I know why you're confused. You were Tim last week.
I was.
Yeah.
Right, sorry. This is Matt now.
Yeah.
And we're going to be watching episode 812 of Power Rangers. It's called Nightmare in Amber Beach.
It is.
I have a question.
Okay.
Oh, no, because Amber Beach is in the town. I was about
Yes.
to ask how you can be in a beach, but...
No, but yeah, it's the name of
It's
the
a
town.
place. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Take it back.
Okay.
You're off the hook this time, Power Rangers.
I assume like a sleep monster?
Maybe. Or maybe something bad happens.
I mean, you think it's a metaphorical nightmare?
Yeah.
Right.
The show doesn't really do metaphor, does it?
Not in titles.
No. Okay. Do we have anything to talk about this week?
We do, Matt. Of the success of the orders for issue 1 of Boom's Power Rangers comic,
Yes.
they have announced a 6-issue Pink Ranger miniseries.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
It is pretty rad. So it's written by Brendan Fletcher and Kelly Thompson.
Yep.
Both two people I'm a big fan of.
Yep.
And the art is by a new Italian artist called Daniele Di Nicuolo. And he's apparently working on a Mirror's Edge comic at the moment.
Oh, sweet. I like Mirror's Edge.
But, he's got a deviant art, and, I mean, his work is just...
That's really cool.
He's damn good.
Yeah.
So, I'm, really excited about that.
Yep.
It's 6 issues, starting in May, the other M month. It's interesting for them to have gone for, just the Pink Ranger as a spin-off.
I think there's certainly a trend in comics at the moment.
Yep.
I would say a very good trend of awesome solo series starring lady characters.
Yep, I'd agree.
And I think it has been an underserved market for so long that it's now super primed for the audience that's been waiting for it.
I also think Boom have been having success in that market. I think they're publishing Lumberjanes, which is winning every award it could possibly be nominated for.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see them wanting to expand in that way with the Power Rangers line as well.
Definitely. And I think we say that market, but that market is women, which is half of the planet.
And also men.
Yes,
because
exactly.
I am capable of reading a book starring a lady.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think it makes sense, and I'm excited.
It's interesting, the idea of a solo Power Ranger story, though. That's the thing that really is, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Is she with the team, but
it's focused on her?
Or is it actually just her? I have lots of questions, and all that have you seen all the variant covers that they've released already? Every one of them is just
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, they do good stuff.
I'm excited, especially because they've announced that issue 1 of this Power Rangers comic has got more than 100,000 orders.
Yes.
And I understand that there's 30 variant covers and some people are buying a lot of them.
Yeah.
But that's a lot for any comic, really. It's definitely a lot for anything that isn't by Marvel or DC or called The Walking Dead.
Yes.
I hope that this means that we get Power Rangers comics forever.
Yeah, that's my hope. Like, if the Pink Ranger series runs those same numbers,
Yep.
I'll be a happy man.
Yeah, I mean,
Because that means we have a thing going on.
there's so many Power Rangers that they could just do a 6-issue mini about.
I mean, I've got one sitting in the chamber ready to go.
I mean, look, I don't know what the Andros 6-issue mini is, but if you want it, I'll come up with it, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I mean, this team, Brendan Fletcher, rebooted Batgirl last year, and what was a phenomenal move, and is writing Gotham Academy, and is doing really well on that.
Yep.
Have you read either of Kelly Thompson's novels?
No, you know what? I have you know what? I can't remember what it's called now.
The first one or the second one?
It might be the first one.
Yeah.
It's about the girl who fights fiction.
No, that's the second one. That's
Second one.
Story Killer.
Story Killer. I have that sitting on my bookshelf. It's on my to-read list. I just haven't quite gotten there yet, unfortunately.
I have read the first one,
Yep.
which is called The Girl Who Would Be King,
Yes.
I think. It's good.
It's good.
And I actually do also own the second one, and I haven't read it yet.
Yep.
So,
I think I got Story Killer through Kickstarter. Actually.
yeah, I kickstarted both of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's also about to take over A-Force.
Yes.
Co-wrote Captain Marvel with Kelly Sue DeConnick during
Yes.
Secret Wars. That's the creative team you want for a Pink Ranger comic book.
Absolutely.
And it was an exciting announcement.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good to talk to them sometime.
Yeah, that would be good
Yeah.
if we could arrange that.
Yep.
Should we, I've sent out some emails. That's probably a thing that's going to happen.
We've asked.
Yeah,
Well,
we've asked.
well, you know, I wouldn't say probably. We've asked. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that was just really exciting to see. We love Power Rangers and we love comics.
Yes.
And I just hope that they keep making good Power Rangers comics.
That would suit me very well.
Yeah. Right? Okay, there's no other real news to talk about. Any predictions for this episode of Dino Charge? You missed last week's.
I did. And I had every intent, I don't want to miss episodes, but this
Sure.
week has been...
It's been a big week.
A special type of bananas in my life.
It was a fine, random episode of Dino Charge.
Yep. Do you have predictions? Things you'd hope?
I'm imagining some sort of dream monster. Outside of that, maybe stuck in dreams, and
Do you think we'll get any closer to another Energem or another Ranger?
I feel like this episode probably not.
A bit too early.
Yeah. I mean, episode 3, and they've only got 2, so they're going to have to spread them out a bit.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Episode 5 is called Roar of the Red Ranger. Mm-hmm. That seems like the sort of episode that might be
Plot progression.
A plot progression episode.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, I've been watching The Flash for the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
Because it's been a crime that I haven't been watching The Flash.
Yes.
And this show has been similar to that in that sometimes episodes just out of nowhere are okay, no, we're doing this now.
Yep.
Guys, if you're not watching The Flash,
so good.
Oh God, it's so good.
It improves my life, which I know is a dramatic statement.
No, I
but
agree, yes.
If I'm having a bad day, going home and watching The Flash really picks me up. There's just an optimism and earnestness to it that provides a lot of value to my life experience.
It's honestly, if you guys aren't watching The Flash, even if you don't like The Flash,
Yeah.
you will like The Flash.
Get on it. I just started watching Supergirl, and it's not quite The Flash, at least not yet.
Yep.
But God, I love the fact that happy shows
Yep.
are a thing now.
Yeah.
You know? The other day someone was asking me if I kept up with Game of Thrones. I was just no.
Oh.
Because I have 1 or 2 hours of recreation time in my week. I'm not going to waste that on getting sad.
Yeah,
You know?
that's fair, yeah.
I'd rather just have a good time.
No, I want to watch a show where a dude runs around a block and then throws lightning at a giant monkey.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to watch that, how are you into Power Rangers,
Yeah,
really?
what is your deal?
You guys have not thought that through at all.
And also, it's so affirming.
Yeah.
You know, Barry Allen is just a good guy who does good things to help people out.
Yeah.
And
Not because he has to, Matt.
no,
Because he can.
because he wants to.
Yep.
Good show.
Yeah, good show.
Let's go with some Power Rangers.
Yeah, and hopefully, look, it's not going to be as good as a random episode of The Flash.
No,
But hopefully it's a good episode of Power Rangers.
absolutely.
All right.
See you guys in a sec.
Yeah.
Ranger Danger, Ranger Danger.
And we're back.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, it was good.
Again, like last week, which obviously you didn't see, just a perfectly serviceable, like, random episode of Power Rangers. Although, as I said, I was not expecting the, like, ongoing plot development that we got in the middle of this week's episode.
Yeah, there was kind of two that happened a lot earlier than I was expecting.
Yeah.
But we can get to that as we
Alright.
go. Before we start, this was the first time I've seen the new intro to the show.
Yep. It's not quite as good.
It's not as good.
There's just more for it to get through.
Yeah. And also, Power Rangers Dino Supercharge.
Yep.
He just doesn't deliver it with the same
It's
gusto.
tough to deliver at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I get. Like, I don't want to peg that on the guy, but yeah.
I hope that after Ninja Steel, they don't do Ninja Super Steel.
What are they going to do?
I don't know, like Ninja... What's something
Steelier.
better than, what's better than Steel?
Diamond.
Ninja... Okay, that's going to take some work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate pattern that they've got themselves caught in, where I guess they have to call it something different. I don't quite see why.
I think it helps you define, in a branding sense, the old toys and the new toys.
Yeah.
Because when it's like, oh, this is the Power Rangers Dino Supercharge
Yeah, that's
figure,
fair, I guess,
You
yeah.
know, like your parents aren't going to buy you two
No,
Power
we've
Rangers
already got the
Dino
Dino
Charge
Charge toy, yeah.
And boy, there was some toyetic things in this episode.
Yeah. All right. Will you take it from the top?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Riley's meeting Shelby at school.
Yes.
She had an accounting test.
Those two seem, in this episode, to be much closer friends than I had previously pegged them to be.
It's one of those things where I don't think we've ever seen that particular pairing have...
Any sort of true interaction.
Yeah. And, like, maybe those two characters are friends, but they've never kind of... That's not how they get paired off, ever.
Yeah, it's never been explicit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's the sort of thing that I've actually, like, I'm really there for.
Yep.
Occasionally give us, like, what's an episode that stars Chase and Coda like?
Yeah, absolutely. And why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelby got a B on her test.
She did, and I'm disappointed in her.
Well, so's her father.
I know.
Yeah. She's disappointed in herself as well. I think in the in the Australian school system,
Yes.
at least the primary school system, which I know, they work at a C average,
Yes.
right? So the idea is, like, most kids get C's.
Yes.
Kids who are a little better get B's. Kids who are great get A's.
Yes.
And if you need work, a D.
Yes.
And I know that, like, my mum's a primary school teacher, and I know that causes a lot of problems for parents who were brought up when anything other than an A was unacceptable,
Yes.
because it sounds shitty to get a C,
But they're grading on a curve.
but they're grading on a different curve that goes differently. From what I've heard, the American school system is insane.
Yep.
Like, especially with how much you have to get a B, and, like, fails that are above 50%,
That seems strange.
right? But who knows? She's not happy, and her dad won't be happy.
Thinking about it now,
Hmm.
a fail being more than 50%
Yes.
is actually just an arbitrary construction.
Yes, absolutely it is.
And it never occurred to me until this moment, because I was like, of course, like 49% is a fail, but it's like, but why?
Why is 51% better?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
How much... someone's decided that you have to know half of it
Yeah.
for that to be an acceptable amount of knowledge.
Bizarre.
And exactly half. Any less than half, no good.
Yeah.
Any more than half, great.
There's a dramatic difference between knowing slightly more and slightly less of half of the content.
Yes.
Schools are weird and fucked up.
They are. And I mean, like, I don't necessarily think we need to tear everything down and start again, but there's definitely some things that people could, sit and have another look at, maybe.
Definitely, yeah. I know I did a little bit of early childhood studies stuff at university.
Yep.
Because I had to for some weird reason.
Yep.
And there was a lot of stuff that even at like the super young age,
Yep.
things that the world had figured out about education that they were battling to try and get
Yep.
schools to pick up, but just it's so much hard work for some reason.
Yeah.
And I think because it's a hugely political thing.
I mean, and also, everyone's at school.
Yes.
You know, like if you try to get something changed in a supermarket,
Yeah.
that affects a lot of people, but it doesn't affect every child in the
People.
country.
Yeah. And yeah, because it depends on who's in government, what happens in the syllabus, and even with the execution of the syllabus.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah. School's insane.
It is
If you're in school, you know that it's insane.
Yeah.
If you're out of school, you may have forgotten, and we're here to remind you.
Yeah, don't forget. Never forget.
Anyway, so Shelby like brings her marks into the cafe.
Yep.
And everyone's like, a B's like fine. You
Yeah.
know, it's not like an A, but a B's fine. And Chase specifically says that his parents would celebrate if he got a B.
Because Chase is a piece of shit.
I like though, like, we don't think Chase is dumb.
Yes.
He's just probably not getting B's because he doesn't care.
Oh, 100%. He's just super lazy.
He's out skateboarding and flirting with babes, and he
Yeah.
doesn't have time for assignments and maths.
Yes.
He's so terrible. I love him.
I like that guy a lot. Yeah.
It's Shelby's dad, who we saw earlier this season.
Yeah.
He's come back.
He's
I
come
wasn't
back.
expecting that.
No, he's come back to pull ice cream out of his ass.
Yes, so he owns Watkins Ice Cream,
Yeah.
which by everyone's reaction is like the ice cream company.
Yeah, it's the Ben and Jerry's of the world.
Yeah, and yeah, he literally pulls out 5 ice creams from nowhere just to give to the gang.
Like, it would be weird if it was a normal object, because he doesn't have them when he walks into the scene. And they're quite large.
Yeah.
But also they're ice creams.
Yes, he has to have kept them refrigerated.
He must have wheeled a freezer up to basically just outside of the frame, pulled them out, stuffed them God knows where, and then pulled them out again.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not entirely impossible that the dude who runs the ice cream company has, like, an esky in his boot.
Yes.
So, maybe. It's just... It's a little too weird.
Yeah, it was a weird moment. Especially for a guy who is, like, a bit intense, but is not, like, a villain. You know?
His intensity in this episode is fascinating.
It's bizarre,
because,
isn't it?
like, he's intense about some things, but not about others. And in some of them, he's basically also a magician.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. He's, like... Yeah, he's a lot like a villain in that...
yes, he's allowed to break the rules of the show outside fighting giant monsters.
Yeah, because these guys live human lives.
Yep.
That are human lives.
Yes.
Outside of being a Power Ranger, and when they enter the Power Rangers world,
Everything goes insane.
everything is like things are very exaggerated. But he seems to be a guy that just like by some osmosis has picked up the insanity of that world and put it into being like a crazy ice cream businessman.
Yeah, I'd like for him to come back once more. I think, like, if he becomes a recurring member of the show,
That's not.
there's enough members of this cast as it is that we don't get to see.
Yeah.
But I would like him to come back maybe towards the end of the season and just kind of
Solve
round
a
that
problem
plot
with
off.
ice cream.
Yeah, well, yeah. So Heckle comes in.
Yep.
And, like, he's, sympathising with Shelby about, you're going to have to do some studying.
It is intense having the main villain of the show
It is.
just buddying around with the cast.
It really is.
Like, it's intense on a...
It just escalates everything dramatically.
Yes.
And Shelby says, I'll sleep when I've got my A. And he says, you'll sleep sooner than that. And just walks towards the camera menacingly. He's overacting as much as anyone has ever overacted on this show. And it's just...
He could give Wentworth Miller a run for his money.
Oh, yeah. He's on that scale of just... All right, so when this is a kids' TV show? Right, let's do this shit.
Yeah.
But I love it.
He commits. You got to give the guy
Yeah.
points for that.
So on the ship, he's come up with a plan.
Yeah.
There's a monster called Nightmare.
Yep.
Can you describe Nightmare?
Nightmare is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Nightmare is like a human in a pink onesie.
Yeah, so like neck down
Yeah.
is just a dude in like a pajama onesie.
Yep. And above the head, he's a goat
Yeah.
whose head has been swallowed by an ice cream ghost.
Yeah, so it's like his head is like a cloud / sheep's body.
Yes.
But the head, where the head would be, there's still like a sheep or goat's head that's completely black.
Yeah.
It's just surrounded by a ring of teeth.
Yes.
And the horns are like on the side of the bottom of the front of the head.
It's super fucked up.
Yeah, if it weren't for the fact that this episode makes him like a bit of a comedy character,
Yeah.
he'd be absolutely horrifying.
Yes. Yes, he would.
Oh boy. Alright, so back at the cafe, Heckle delivers Shelby a package.
Yep.
It's a pillow.
A pillow. That's a weird package to be receiving.
Who ships a pier? I mean, the shipping would be cheap.
Would it?
Yeah, because it doesn't weigh anything.
No, but it takes up space.
Oh, that's true.
And I don't know about other countries, but Australia Post will just
Yeah, size of
destroy
the-
you for anything that's bigger than an envelope.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright, so Shelby kind of just puts it to her face and instantly falls asleep. It's a magic pillow.
Yes.
And then a pink energy cloud goes into her ear.
Yep.
It's Nightmare,
Yes.
who she can now see, but he isn't there.
Yes.
And he makes everyone look like Vivix.
Yes. So it's hard to wrap your head around, isn't it? Because the people are actually there, but Nightmare isn't there, but he is actually there.
Yes,
He's just not really there.
yes. His presence is just in her mind.
Yes.
But the Vivix are the people in the same positions and actions as the people.
And it makes, this is not an important question, but I was wondering if Shelby's perceiving those people, or Nightmare is perceiving those people and sending that information into her brain.
Right.
Because she has her eyes closed,
Yes.
so she can't be seeing them.
I mean, that makes a certain amount of sense.
So Nightmare must be seeing them, and then sort of relaying that information.
I guess. His powers are not very well defined by this episode.
No, but that would make sense why she's quite bad at fighting, because maybe she doesn't know exactly where they are, because Nightmare's just doing his best to keep Shelby attacking in that direction.
Who knows? So, yes, she pulls her Dino Saber out of just nowhere.
Apparently it runs in the family.
Yep. And just starts attacking everyone with a sword.
Yeah.
I think the best bit is when Coda just tries to find out what he did wrong.
Yes. Poor Coda.
Yeah.
He's like a puppy in so many ways.
He really is. And there's a brief bit where, right at the end of the fight, Tyler grabs the pillow and holds it up to defend himself. Now, cutting the pillow in half breaks the spell. If it hadn't, he'd just be dead.
Yes.
Because a pillow, not an effective defense tool against anything, really.
No, I could buy it as a quick reflex, but that is a silly decision.
Yeah. Boy. Alright. So then Nightmare comes out of her ear.
Yes.
And just crouches in the corner. And just goes, well, you have to sleep eventually. And then, spirals out of existence.
Because that's terrifying.
It is.
This is a weird episode.
It really, really is a weird episode.
So now the Power Rangers' job is to never sleep.
Yep. Good plan.
Good plan. Love it.
So down in the base,
Yeah.
they're doing some science.
Well, one person's doing science.
One person's doing science.
You can probably guess who.
Yeah. Basically, as far as they can tell, Shelby herself is fine.
Yes.
It's just that there's something up with the pillow, and they'll figure out what that is. But in the meantime, no one's allowed to sleep.
Yep.
This is a charming montage.
It is a charming montage.
There's Ivan and Riley
Yep.
sword fighting and then falling asleep as they're doing it and waking up.
And Riley looking so content being
Yeah.
asleep on Ivan's shoulder.
I mean, who wouldn't be? He's dreaming.
He's dreaming.
Tyler is juggling, which
Yep.
I guess would actually be a pretty good keep yourself awake thing.
Yeah.
Because, there's stuff moving and stuff dropping. Coda is content to just throw rocks into the air, not look at where they land, and then celebrate.
He tried to juggle, and he looked momentarily disappointed that he couldn't catch them. But I think realised very rapidly that just throwing rocks is kind of fun anyway.
He's the best. He's
the
just
best.
the best. In a cast of characters that I genuinely like all of.
Yes.
He is just the best.
He's the best.
Oh, boy. So Shelby's doing some studying, and Kendall's doing some science.
Yep.
So it's sunrise now, and it turns out the pillow sends out a harmonic brainwave that puts the victims to sleep.
It's the worst kind of brainwave.
It is, I've always said that. That's fine as made-up science. Sure. I'm surprised they didn't just say, oh yeah, it's a magical pillow.
Yeah, that seems easier, but that's fine.
Yeah. So, on the ship, we discover that Coda doesn't use a pillow, he sleeps with a rock.
Yes.
On the ship, Nightmare's not happy that he failed. And I love that the control room looks wrecked still.
Yes.
And out the front of it, we can see, like, whatever the hill they're on is.
Yeah.
It's a nice...
It looks like they're living in a destroyed husk of a thing.
Yeah.
And it gives it the right vibe as well.
Yeah.
Because he's not the sort of like grandiose villain
No.
that Sledge was. He is a like hang out in a wreckage and just
exactly.
kind of be a shitto.
It really works. So they say, well, right, let's just, if they haven't fallen asleep, let's just tire them out.
Yep.
In the meantime, Shelby's dad shows up again. And he says, oh, you're studying. What are you studying? Matt, what's she studying?
She's looking at dinosaur books.
She's looking at dinosaur books.
Nerd!
Yeah. And he says to her, you're not a little girl anymore. And she responds with, but I love dinosaurs, which is not a great counter-argument there, I don't think.
But also, like, how do you say no to that?
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
Matt, we learned from him that dinosaurs are so yesterday. Business is the future. Never before had anyone presented to me a continuum where one end was dinosaurs and the other end was business.
The thing is, he's not wrong.
No, dinosaurs are from the past and there will be businesses in the future.
That's right.
That is technically a true sentence.
No, I don't think anyone has ever framed it that way.
No, exactly. So he says, right, follow me. They go out the back of the cafe. And he passes a calculator to Riley, who shouldn't have needed a calculator because he's a huge maths nerd.
Well, no, he passes the calculator to Coda, who, like, looks at it quizzically, starts mashing buttons, and then Tyler's like, no, I'm going to have to take this off you and give it to someone who knows how to use a calculator, I'm sorry.
So he starts talking about, like, this is the price of the beef, this is the price of the lettuce, this is the price of the cheese... Which Elon, I don't get it.
He's a strange man.
He's a strange man. And
he's also, for an efficient businessman, wasting so much lettuce. Because
really
lettuce is going everywhere.
He's got his back turned to everyone. And Shelby says to them, whatever you do not look impressed. Which I really like.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he's got like a burger and a plate of fries. I've got to be honest, that looked pretty good. I had a disappointing burger for lunch today.
The burger had sparklers in it. How did you leave that out?
Oh yeah, the burger has sparklers in it.
2 sparklers.
Tyler and Coda are incredibly impressed.
Yes.
They try to tone it down, but it's hard not to. I'm impressed because he didn't cook any of those things.
No. It looks cooked too, so...
The chips are definitely cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
So, look, the lesson he's trying to teach them somehow is that for $2 of ingredients, he made a $6 burger. So he made $4 profit. Which he could have done without actually making the burger. But I appreciate the burger as a way to make a metaphorical point. The only problem is, like, the burger's got 2 meat patties and double cheese and vegetables and there's a bowl of chips. He actually didn't account for any of that in his speech.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that that's just a problem with the prop not matching the script.
Yes.
But I just did go like, that's at least $4 in ingredients.
Is it though?
Yeah, I mean, mince isn't cheap.
No, but the costs on burgers are usually pretty low in that sort of situation because you are buying in bulk. You got to remember that they're not going to Woolworths and buying stuff. They're getting boxes of beef patties.
Yeah.
Like they come in like huge boxes that are just... Oh, you worked in it.
I know, I worked at Hungry Jack's.
Sorry.
I know what a box of frozen meat patties looks like.
Yeah.
I'm intimately familiar. No, if I say that, it sounds like I had sex with a box of meat patties. I did not have sex with a box of meat patties. And to my knowledge, no one has ever had sex with a box of meat patties. I'm not willing
like Bill Clinton.
I'm not willing to completely rule out that anyone has ever, because there's some fucked up people in the world. But
I did not have sex with those beef patties.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, they get
How do you move on from
anyway, they get a message on their communicators by never speaking of it again. There's some Vivics attacking downtown.
Yeah.
They can't find Ivan, so they just go and fight the Vivics. And at first they think these Vivics might be super strong, but Matt, that's not what's happening.
They're just Dino super tired.
Did you write that down?
No.
I wrote that down. It's just
They're just a little too hard.
I just can't tell if it's the show taking the piss out of itself,
Yeah.
or if it's the show taking itself a little too seriously.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I must say, this was a bad week for me to watch a show about people trying to fight off sleep.
Because you're exhausted.
I'm so tired. And they were just sort of like falling asleep as they're fighting, and I'm like, yeah, it would be good to fall asleep right now.
This was the first time ever watching Power Rangers that I've noticed Japanese on signs.
I've definitely seen it before, but they're usually pretty good about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know if it was just because it's like in quite open shots and there's nothing really exciting happening in the fight.
Yeah.
Or if just like today happened to be the day. It was
Yeah.
just interesting. So they're getting the shit kicked out of them. They just all pull their guns out and like kill a fuck ton of Vivics.
Just destroy them.
But then there's more Vivics.
Oh no!
But then someone shoots them. It's Ivan.
Great!
But he's shooting the Rangers.
This is a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster of emotions. He's obviously asleep and having a nightmare. Then he falls down some stairs.
Yeah, that looks like it hurt.
And that doesn't wake him up, but it does expel nightmare from his helmet.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
So
So all we need to do is bop him on the head.
yeah, so apparently the way it works is like breaking the pillow wakes you up, but nightmare leaving is a separate arrangement.
Yeah. So you can have nightmare leave your head, but that doesn't mean you wake up. You're still going to be asleep forever unless you find the pillow and destroy it.
Yeah, so they go back to the base and they retrace Ivan's steps, and
Yep.
Coda finds the pillow, tears it in half.
Yeah.
Ivan calls him his capable Cro-Magnon.
Which is amazing.
And then Coda's like, I don't know what that is. And he says, oh, sorry, caveman. Like he's accidentally used a racist slur.
Yeah, he does say it like that, actually, yeah.
Like, oh no, that's not the word we use anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Caveman is much better.
Yes. You just imagine him calling someone like, oh, this is my Negro friend, and everyone's sort of like going, no. And he's like,
I'm
oh, sorry.
300 years old.
Yeah.
That was a fine word back then.
Yeah, that was a compliment, if anything.
Anyway, it's time for Shelby to go to a test.
Yep.
And Riley's going to take her. But on the way, they have a heart-to-heart. What if business won't make Shelby happy, Matt?
What if?
What if? And they run into her dad.
Yep.
And he's like, business will make you happy. But then as they leave, he sees a little girl who's like, I want to find a dinosaur. And that little girl's dad is like, you're going to be the best dinosaur finder ever. You're going to shit on every other dinosaur finder in the world.
And then he's like, I'm a great dad to you, little girl.
Because I'm supporting your dreams,
Yeah.
not pushing mine on you.
If another dad was to support you in this way, that would be good of him.
I hope any dads watching learn a lesson. It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
It is.
So Riley tells Shelby that when he was growing up on the ranch, everyone wanted him to be a cowboy. But he didn't want to be a cowboy.
Riley's super gay, right?
I mean, like, it's hard not to read that.
Yeah. And, like, just for the record, super happy for that to be the case.
Oh, yeah, no
100%
problem.
supportive. But the subtext is super, super there.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, it's real.
I wanted to be... everyone wanted me to be a cowboy. And I thought I wanted to be a cowboy because there was one in the Village People who are my favourite band.
Yes.
But then I discovered he wasn't a real cowboy. And I moved on to my new love.
Men.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, so
Just
Shelby...
because, like, the way he talks about it is very like, oh, I was at the farm and things were rugged, but I didn't really
yeah,
fit in there.
yeah.
I had to come to the city and be a snappy dresser.
If the way that story ended was, and then I realised I was gay,
Yeah.
like, we'd be surprised because it was in Power Rangers.
But otherwise, completely not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, are they intentionally writing him, like, thinking there's no way we can make him gay, but he's the gay one.
That's my hope, to be honest. And, like, it's a damn shame that they can't just make him gay.
Yes.
But I would say I get it, but I understand that thought process, unfortunately. But, yeah, if their way around it is to just do it without being explicit about it,
Yeah.
I support that.
Yeah, absolutely. So he drops Shelby off at her exam,
Yeah.
and it's Curio.
Oh, shit.
And he grabs Riley's helmet from the back of his scooter and puts a pillow in it.
Yeah, stuffs the pillow into the top of it.
Surprisingly clever for
That's
Curio.
a great idea.
Yeah.
That's like a better idea than I think I would have had in that situation.
Yeah. It's not a great plan because of some stuff that happens next.
Yes.
But anyway, so Shelby leaves her exam early.
Yep.
She's decided that actually she's not even going to pretend. She can't do business. It's not for her.
Riley taught her that it's time to come out of the business closet and accept who she really
The
is.
dinosaur closet. Oh no, the closet is the one you
It's-
don't
yeah,
want.
it's the business closet.
That's fine.
Yeah.
She comes back to Heckle
Yes.
just putting everyone to sleep and stealing their energems.
This could not be a clearer metaphor for roofing people.
Oh my god.
Actually, no, roofing's not right, because it'd be chlorophyll, right, with the
Yeah,
rag?
yeah.
Because he just walks up to people,
Puts the pillow in front of their face.
yeah, and then just, like, sleeper holds them as well. It's
Oh
so
my
racist.
God. It's just, for this show, it's just...
It's like, you know how we talked about before about the show being too on the nose?
Yes.
This was too on the nose about rape.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean-
like, just maybe an extra layer of metaphor was needed in this situation.
So everyone is asleep now.
Yep.
And Shelby just walks in. So she's like, oh, everyone's asleep. Hey, that's their energems. I'll grab those. Takes her a little too long to go, hey, I wonder if the guy holding the pillow is maybe the bad guy.
Yeah. But to her credit, she figures it out.
Draws her gun on him
Yeah.
straight away.
And, like, he tries to worm his way out of it, and I was genuinely worried they were going to do that.
Yeah, because the show couldn't be that dumb.
No.
If everyone was allowed to be that dumb,
Yeah.
it would just not be acceptable.
No. But no, she does not even lower the gun. She
No.
is not going to back down.
And she
this one.
shoots the pillow,
Yeah.
and everyone wakes up.
Yep. And then everyone's like, oh shit, that guy's working for
Snide.
Yeah.
And then someone conveniently says, are you working for Snide?
Yep.
Right on time
Yep.
for him to be like, no, I am Snide.
Dun, dun, dun. Which is great.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
That's... You know, we were talking about The Flash earlier.
Yes.
This is the sort of shit that I've gotten used to in
Yep.
the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
Where they'll be like, oh, that could be the status quo for half a season.
Yep.
No, we're done.
Yeah. The Flash and Arrow and that whole group of shows is so good about setting up big ideas
Yep.
and just doing them and moving on to the next big idea.
Heckle could easily have been in that position for a couple more episodes, no question.
Oh, but he could have been in that position until episode, 19?
Yeah.
Easily. But they're like, nah, we did a thing, let's move on to the next thing. And I love that.
Yeah. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
So he, pyrotechnics away.
Yep. And, that came, as you probably figured out, listeners, already, in the same episode that Shelby sorted out the situation with her dad, which was set up in the pilot. So I expected to be the status quo for half a season at
Yeah.
least. But no, episode 3, taken care of.
And as he's leaving, he says to them, well, I'm going to find your base, and then I'll get the energems and destroy you. And as he goes, I think Shelby says, wait, he doesn't know where our base is? Because, Matt, you didn't see last week, they took Heckle down to the base because he'd been forgetted, or maybe was pretending to be forgetted.
Yeah.
The episode was very unclear. But so he knew where it was, and then everyone accidentally drank some of the forgetfulness juice. And so he forgot.
Right.
But that's nice because the Rangers did not see him forgetting.
Yeah.
So by all accounts,
he
he should have known.
Yeah. So does that mean last week he knew they were the Power Rangers?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
It was revealed to him, and he learned where their base was.
Right.
It was a big week for him.
Yeah.
So Riley's going for the junkyard, which apparently Kendall has a special alert on her phone for.
You know,
I don't want to know why she wants to know why he's going to the junkyard, do I?
she knows that when Riley goes to the junkyard, he's in a bad place.
It's the same reason George Michael goes to local parks, isn't it? So Fury's there with Curio.
Yeah.
And Fury just is so happy to be this close to an Energem. But unfortunately, Chase fucks that up for him. Shoots that pillow. Riley wakes up. Riley fights Fury.
Yep.
Fury fucks off.
Yep. As Fury does, because Fury is Goldo.
He really, there was 8 or 9 episodes where he was the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gone.
So then Nightmare comes out and he's like, I'm going to get you. And they do not waste any time.
No, they're very efficient.
They basically all get their swords, all attack him, all get out their guns, shoot their guns. Riley does a jumpy, spinny attack. He's destroyed.
Yes. And then he grows big.
And now his pillow says yes on one side and no on the other side?
Yeah, that was definitely something in Japan that did not translate over.
I want to know what the deal was there. But, yeah.
Yeah.
And, man, he hasn't been a particularly threatening villain, physically.
Particularly given how threatening he could have been.
Yes.
It wasn't really a big danger. They fell asleep, very briefly, but then everything was fine very soon after that.
Yes.
So he certainly wasn't the threat that he could have been.
Which is why it's fascinating that they get out every Megazord.
Yeah, they really get to give him the works.
The Plesio and the Gold Rangers and the regular Megazord with the blue and green arms.
Yep.
And they just all attack.
And as you would expect, things are over immediately because that's horrendous overkill.
Yeah. It's what, I wonder, is that monster more terrifying in the Japanese episode? Or,
Who knows? I am pretty over the Zord battles in this show, to be honest.
Sure.
They're so, 2 minutes to get all the toys out, and then they do their final moves, and then you go home.
Yeah.
I just bums me out.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... Anyway.
And they're all just so... in the Megazord, now you have a special toy sword that you've slid all the bits in that is clearly just an American invention to sell.
No, I believe that's actually a Japanese thing.
Really?
I think so, maybe.
I thought all the in Zord footage was American.
I think it is, but I think I'll look that up while we keep going.
I don't know. Maybe I'm tired and cynical and grumpy. But
You are a bit tired and cynical and grumpy. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
So anyway, they destroy him. That's
that.
It's basically...
And I'm dropping shit all over the place. So they destroy the monster, and they are back in their base. There's this moment at the very end, right before the credits. I guess we should cover the thing with
Shelby's dad?
Shelby's dad, absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically, exactly what you think was going to happen.
She's doing a tour?
Yes. Showing everyone some dinosaurs, and he's clearly very happy and passionate about it. And then her dad sees her, and he's like, Shelby, it's fine that you love dinosaurs. I'll accept you for who you are on the inside.
I wish Riley's family had told him that.
Yeah. I mean, they may have.
We've seen them be, quite supportive, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But he's probably fine. So that's resolved. And then we have a scene...
Oh, except she asks him for one more favour.
She does, that's true.
Matt, what is it?
It's a ice cream cake with a Triceratops on it.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it is. Coda nearly just eats the whole thing.
Yes.
Of course, this is the only time Keeper shows up. Because there's cake.
Keeper arrives. He's in the episode for 2 seconds.
Yep.
He's there to score some of the free cake. I hate that guy. I hate him.
You didn't see last week. A villain attacked the base and was in the base alone, and if the Energems had been there, would have gotten all of them. Keeper, nowhere to be seen.
Keeper keeps talking about how they have to return things to how things were millions of years ago, where he was the one who protected the Energems.
Yeah.
They should never go back to Keeper.
Never, ever.
No.
Kick him out, in fact.
Absolutely. He's a piece of shit. Tell him to go home.
This season so far, he hasn't even done that thing he does where he,
gives advice.
obviously explains the message.
Yes.
He's
Just there to be.
And I
dick.
do kind of wonder if that's because they realised that Keeper was shit and decided to take an opportunity to dial him back.
Why not just throw him out of the script?
I mean, sure, I wouldn't miss him, but then you can't sell a Keeper action figure.
Who's gonna buy
I
a
actually don't
Keeper?
think there even is a Keeper action figure.
No, because he's the worst.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say all dumb kids watch this show, or all kids that watch this show are dumb. There are probably some dumb kids that watch this show though.
Yep.
Even they would not be tricked into buying a Keeper action figure.
Maybe if he was the only action figure left on the shelf.
Yeah.
I'm imagining all the other racks are empty and just 24 Keepers.
Can you imagine being the kid on Christmas morning who is he opens up a packet and he sees the Power Rangers logo and he's like, yes! And it's a Keeper figure.
And his mum's like, I got you a Power Rangers.
Yes.
I don't know when they became ETs, but here you go. It says Power Rangers on it.
Yeah. And you can just imagine the kid using him to give shitty advice to the other action figures.
Cobra's attacking G.I. Joe. What will I do? Well, you should not let them attack you. Yeah, great fucking advice, Keeper. Go away. Hashtag fuck off ET.
He's there with Batman being like, maybe if you sorted out your emotional issues, you wouldn't need to be a vigilante.
Fuck off ET.
Yeah. Oh, I hate Keeper.
Boy. Alright, so that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Alright, Matt, let's talk Ranger Danger
Fantasy
Zordon.
That's the one.
This, by the way, everybody, if you haven't submitted your team to Fantasy Zordon Online, closed now.
Dun dun dun.
The form will be gone by the time you hear this.
Yep.
So,
Too bad.
yeah, so from next week we'll be tracking the spread of the scores and how people are doing. Matt, how did you do this week?
Yeah, not too bad. Tim and I got 6 points for the Green Ranger for Megazord formation and 2 power-up modes.
Yep.
Same for the Blue Ranger. I got 2 for my Graphite Ranger for not showing up.
Yep.
And that is it.
This might be a first 0. Because
no, sorry. I got 2 for the Megazord formation.
You did 2 because Kendall's Purple Megazord
Showed up. That's it. Sorry, can I? Yeah, going back to the Megazords.
Yeah.
It's super dumb across the board because now, Kendall isn't there when her Zord is there.
Yes.
Tyler isn't in the Megazord that has his Zord.
No, he goes to be in the other one.
Yeah. So we're at this point now where the Rangers are completely immaterial. To
They've
the situation.
basically just got a set of giant cars.
Yes.
And just as long as someone's in it,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah. So really, they only need 3 of 10 Rangers to be there. And that's even if they want, all of the Zords.
Yes.
If you want 1, you need 1 of 10 Power Rangers to show up to handle that.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't love it either.
Yeah. Sorry to derail. I got 14 points.
That's alright. I did not do a lot better despite this being a Shelby-heavy episode. Chase only got 4 points
Yep.
for his power-up modes because he didn't get in on that Megazord action.
Yep.
Shelby got 10 points, which is a good week. Because she learned a valuable lesson and got to do a morphing call.
Yep.
And as usual, the Aqua and Silver Rangers are still not on this show.
Yes.
They have to show up eventually, Matt.
If it was like the last episode, that'd be fine.
So I got 18 points, which means at the moment, Matt, you were in the lead 66 to 50.
Yeah.
So
This is my season.
it's a strong lead. I mean, I'm basically banking on Aqua and Silver showing up and being in all the episodes and doing all the stuff.
Being the only Rangers in the show for the rest of the season.
More or less, yeah. I mean, look, there's still 17 episodes.
Yes.
So
It's not intractable.
I only have to do 1 point better each week to catch back up.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of work even just to narrow that gap that widened really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, Matt, what about the Dino Charge creature feature? What did you think of Nightmare?
Didn't love him. I think a lot of it was because he had a lot of potential.
Yep.
And-
Terrifying design.
Yeah. And terrifying, conceptually as a threat.
Yes.
But that threat was not delivered on at all. It was
No.
not... It never seemed like a threat in the way it really should have.
No.
So I'm thinking probably mid-range somewhere.
Yeah, okay, so let's have a look. Duplicon. You remember Duplicon with
Yep.
the waffle press hands?
He duplicated things.
Yeah. Better or worse than Duplicon, do you reckon? I'd put him below.
Yeah, can't beat those waffle
Duplicon
hands.
showed up twice as well, which is in his favour.
Yeah.
Below Duplicon, we've got Stingrage, who has also shown up twice now.
I kind of like Stingrage.
Yeah. Below that is Poisandra, who we haven't seen in a week.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Poisandra.
And then Fury and some other monsters.
He's not as bad as Fury.
No, he's not as bad as Fury. Would you put him between Stingrage and Poisandra?
I think that's a good spot.
That's at number 14.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not great, but, not the worst.
That's definitely true. Alright, so that's it for this week.
Yes.
Next week's episode is called A Date with Danger.
Ooh.
I know,
Ooh,
right?
exotic.
Do you think 2 Power Rangers are going to go on a date?
It's going to be Shelby and Tyler, right? Like, who else is going to go on a
The
date?
only other option is Chase goes on a date with a girl
Yeah.
who is also like a monster, maybe?
Possible.
Or maybe this is where Riley comes out and he goes on a date with a cute boy who turns out to be a monster.
Oh, that'd be so sad.
I know, right?
No,
the
I
first
don't want that
ever
to
gay
happen.
date in Power Rangers.
And it's a monster.
And it's a monster.
That's like just an uncomfortable message to send.
Yeah,
you
don't
know?
date gay boys because some of them are horrible space creatures.
I mean, that may be true, but they're not all.
Many straight boys are also horrible space creatures.
Yeah. Yeah, don't let that sort of, put you off dating.
Yeah, I think if it's not Tyler and Shelby, it's Chase and someone else. Or there's no date at all.
Yeah. I would love for, like, Chase and Kendall.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot more of that at the start.
Yeah.
Which I think might have just been because they had less characters and
They could...
they interacted more.
Yeah. I like the dynamic because she's so uptight and,
And
he's
he's
such
a piece of
shithead.
shit. Yeah, absolutely.
It's got the makings of a beautiful romance there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting too if they go Tyler Shelby to see like what that means. Does
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. All right. You may not find out.
That's true. I will find out. I'm
The other
going to
version
try
of
and
you,
catch up
right?
and watch
Oh,
episodes.
okay. Right.
But yeah, I may not be here to talk about it because I may have to switch places with my alter ego.
Yeah. And so you have to hold your neck and go,
Yeah.
I am Tim.
Yeah,
God, that'd be horrifying. Especially because I've seen the two of you in the same room all the time.
yeah. That would just mean that there's 2 of us and each of us can also be each other.
Oh, boy.
Wouldn't that be weird? If
Yeah.
one day, like, he changed and then you just had 2 Matts for a little bit and then we both changed in those 2 Tims.
Here's the thing. I think 1 Matt and 1 Tim is exactly the right amount of Matt and Tim.
Maybe too much sometimes.
2 Tims is definitely too much Tims. And I think 2 Matts would be too much Matt.
I agree. Yeah.
Alright, so I will definitely be back next week. Someone else will be back to join me.
Yep.
Other than that, Mighty Morphin is still going.
It sure is. On our podcast, the show has been finished for many, many years now.
Many moons now.
Yes.
Alright, we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good time with your life.
Dino Charge!
Can that be your new sign off?
Yeah.
Have a good time with your life.